These serial killers' horrible wives were also involved. Are you ready to discover some of history's most prominent serial killers' horrifying truths? We reveal a disturbing truth. These heinous murderers were not alone. What type of wives would help their husbands commit horrible crimes? How did these women fall into such terrible darkness? Join us as we unravel these serial killers' wives' twisted tales. The dark side of marriage will shock you. Different wives of notorious serial killers dealt with their husbands' murders in quite different ways. Some people stuck by their relationships no matter what, while others didn't even realize what was going on behind closed doors. Some of these wives even had the guts to turn their husbands in an effort to get justice for the victims. The discovery of their husbands' criminal behavior devastated some women. They had a hard time separating the person they thought they knew from the monster that had been revealed. Their hearts were broken, and they were left with emotional wounds that would never completely heal. They turned away from their husbands and toward counseling and family for comfort during their darkest hours. Carol Ann Boone. Carol Ann Boone married Ted Bundy when he was on trial for many murders. Making heinous headlines, Boone supported Bundy in court despite overwhelming evidence against him. Bundy's horrible deeds were well documented, so her backing puzzled many. When Bundy confessed to the murder, Boone soon lost faith in him. She had to face the horrific truth of her husband's conduct after the discovery. Boone divorced Bundy after learning about his actions. Boone's journey from loyal spouse to divorcee shows the complexity of human emotions and the tragic effects of learning someone we love's dark truths. Her leaving Ted Bundy highlighted his actions and their lasting effects. Judith Mawson. Judith Mawson, an ordinary woman, married Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Ridgway's terrible secrets were hidden during their marriage. Judith's life changed after her husband's arrest and confession of his horrible deeds. After revealing Ridgway's horrible activities, Judith left him. Though necessary, her departure was costly. Her community harassed and shunned her. Judith's bravery in fleeing an awful life garnered her sympathy and censure. Some appreciated her decision to disassociate herself from a man capable of such horrors, but others wrongly linked her to her ex-husband's misdeeds. She persevered to rebuild her life and shed her Green River Killer past. Sharon Huddle. Sharon Huddle, Joseph James DeAngelo's ex-wife, described her pain after his sentencing. Sharon, who met DeAngelo while studying criminal law, stayed with him during his horrible deeds. Sharon felt disbelief, sadness, and guilt when recalling her past. She struggled to accept that the person she once loved had committed decades of horrible deeds that scarred communities. She was devastated and questioned her judgment and the years she spent living with a monster. Sharon had cut ties with DeAngelo, but her scars remain. She boldly told her tale to highlight the complex feelings of an ex-spouse and the tremendous impact of such acts on people close to the perpetrators. Sharon's brave voice highlights the far-reaching effects of unfathomable violence. Darcy Metzler. After marrying Jerry Brudos, the lust killer, Darcy Metzler lived a nightmare. Coercion and vicious manipulation haunted their marriage. Brudos enslaved her with his cruel orders. Darcy was investigated once Brudos' actions were revealed. She was arrested for aiding her husband's horrific deeds. During the court processes, evidence showed Darcy's role in the horrors was different. Brudos' psychological control and fear for her safety made her a victim, the defense said. Darcy Metzler was acquitted of complicity after a long trial. The court acknowledged Brudos' extreme psychological abuse. Her acquittal was bittersweet, giving her the chance to rebuild her life and find peace after years of living with a monster. Linda Yates. Linda Yates always thought Robert Yates was a kind and loyal husband. After years of marriage, they enjoyed an apparently regular life. Linda had no idea that her lovely spouse was hiding the darkest secrets. Linda was shocked to learn that her husband was a serial killer who buried his victims in their backyard. Linda struggled between terror and incredulity. Her life fell apart. Her world disintegrated after this unfathomable betrayal. She struggled financially and emotionally due to the upcoming court processes. Linda filed for bankruptcy, a painful reminder of her husband's horrible deeds. To cope, she relied on family and therapy to reconstruct her life after her divorce. Doreen Lioy. In 1996, magazine editor Doreen Lioy married the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez Lioy staunchly maintained Ramirez's innocence despite the overwhelming evidence against him. Her goals and mental health were questioned by many. Lioy supported Ramirez, who terrorized California in the 1980s. Throughout his trial, DNA evidence disproved her innocence. This shocked Lioy and made her change her mind. Lioy left Ramirez. Her inner anguish and personal cost are unknown. Richard Ramirez was imprisoned until his 2013 death. Doreen Lioy's interaction with him is a sobering reminder of human psychology's intricacies and the strength of erroneous belief. Totally sums up The Killer's Wife. We wish you like it, and subscribe for more.